Around this time of the year, it gets super hectic for me just because there's so many birthdays that come up. It's my mom's, it's Abrar's, and it's my sister-in-law's. Given that, I'm going to show you guys how to make a Tres Leches cake, which is basically a cake that it's soaked in 3 different types of milk. Except today, it's going to be a Rasmalai Tres Leches cake. Stay tuned.
To begin, I'm grabbing 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour. I then also grabbed 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I then mix that together just so all the powders mix well, and then I keep that aside. I then grab another bowl because I need this for the eggs that I'm going to separate. As you can see, I separate 3 egg yolks and the egg whites in each bowl. The one that I'm going to whisk, I add in the egg yolks, and the one that I'm not, I keep it aside in a smaller bowl. You'll see what I do with it later. I then add 1/4 cup of sugar and 1 tablespoon of sugar into the same egg yolk. I then whisk that together, and the whole purpose of this is that you want to whisk it until it turns a pale yellow. I'm using my KitchenAid mixer, but you can also use a handheld mixer, it will just take longer. I then take 1/2 cup of 1/4 cup and I add it into the egg yolk. I then take my pale yellow egg yolk that's mixed in with the sugar and I add it into my flour. I then transfer my egg whites and sugar back into the KitchenAid mixer because I'm going to whisk that until stiff peaks form. So you'll see what I'm talking about. In the meantime, I'm just mixing in the mixture of the egg yolk and the powder that I had. To that mixture, I then add 1/2 cup of milk. And then you'll see that I'm showing you guys vanilla extract. I put 1 teaspoon of that as well. You can put in more if you want. I'm just sticking to 1 teaspoon. I then also add about 1/2 teaspoon of ground cardamom. Now, for those of you who don't want to do all this, you literally can just use any moist cake box mix. I just prefer it this way. After a few minutes, you'll see that the egg whites are exactly how I want it to be. Once it is, I then also add in my cake batter and I mix that all together. I do it on a slower speed because at that point I want it to fold in nicely. I don't want it to be a forced pressure. By the way, I'm sure you noticed that I asked to preheat the oven for 350 degrees. The reason I mentioned that is because in a glass tray, for me it's 8x8, I add in baking spray. I then pour in my cake mixture and into the oven it goes. I put it in for about 30 minutes. While the cake is baking in the oven, I grab an empty bowl and I add 1 cup of milk, 1/2 cup of evaporated milk, 1 cup of heavy cream, 1/2 teaspoon of ground cardamom, and 1/2 can of condensed milk. Oh, I also can't forget the saffron. I add about 5-6 sprigs of this. I then mix it in well and I keep that aside. By the way, this mixture smells so good. Once the cake comes out the oven, you're gonna see that while I wait for it to cool, I poke in some holes with a toothpick. The reason I did this is because I want the milk to seep through. I then grab my mixer again and I literally add about 1 cup of heavy cream and I add half a cup of the milk mixture that I just made. I let it whisk until stiff peak forms. Once the cream was done, I just put it into a piping bag and then I created my little designs just like this. I then topped it with crushed pistachios and edible rose petals. Whatever you want to do for the topping is up to you. Now we can finally enjoy.
I feel like I make this cake so much, especially for other people, just because I like it so much, which means that on my birthday, you guys should be doing the same thing. I'm just kidding. Anyways, I really like making this because it's super fast, it's so delicious, and it's so milky. Not only that, it's always usually a crowd pleaser. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let me know in the comments below how you liked it.